on Turkey Lane. I hope you guys are doing good today. Today, as you can see, I'm out on the back deck at the house here, and it's chilly out. I've got my coat on. It's really chilly out. Though it's getting close to the end of March, it's still winter time. And but I'm gonna go ahead and sow a few seeds anyway. In these pots from Dollar Tree. Now these are, I've had them for a couple years. I've used them before already. And the one here, let me get it out. The one does have a hole in the bottom of it. You know, these are plastic, but they really should have drainage holes anyway. And I haven't poked any drainage holes in this one. This one I think will do okay because, like I said, it's got plastic. And I'm going to put, because that's a fairly large hole, I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple of coffee filters in the bottom there. So the water can still drain, but the soil's not going to fall out of that hole. So, and today I'm going to be planting some chives. And these are perennials, so they will grow all year long, and they produce the little purple flowers, which are also edible. The whole plant, besides the roots, are edible, and they can be overwintered and grown all year long in pots or containers. And then I'm also going to be planting green onions. And these, how I'm going to use them is I'm going to use them as like a cut and come again style to use the greens in my salads or different dishes. Asian dishes use a lot of like scallion tops. So, but these I wanted to point out are you can buy these at Lowe's and probably Walmart and many of your other stores, but these are called So Easy. Because these are pelleted seeds. If you can see them there, these are red. And pelleted seeds are seeds that are coated in like a clay coating. And what that does is help you to be able to plant one seed per spot, or to be able to get your seeds, because onion seeds are teeny tiny, just like carrot seeds and even lettuce seeds. Are teeny tiny, and so these pelleted seeds make it really easy to be able to sow your seeds where you're not getting like 5 or 6 tiny seeds in one little hole and then you have to thin a whole bunch out or whatever. So that just makes it real easy. That's why it's called So Easy, especially easy for like a new gardener who's not real familiar with planting seeds or anything like that. These will make it easy for you. So be on the lookout for those at Lowe's and all the places you can buy seeds. And so today, let's get our pots together here. I'm just going to go ahead and use a couple of the coffee filters in the bottom of this pot as well, so that the soil don't fall through, but we still have drainage. So, okay, and now, it's a good thing I bought all that soil on a discount the other day. If you haven't seen that video about how you can get really good bagged soil for next to nothing, I'll pop that video up at the end of this one so you can go look at how you can do that. I'm about at the end of this bag. I'm not. Well, you can really hear the birds out today. Since I'm getting to the bottom of the bag, I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors and just cut this bag off and get the big part out of the way so it's used here. There. Well, that makes it a lot easier. Okay, perfect. That was a perfect amount of soil for these 2 pots. Okay, now we're going to get ready to sow our seeds. Okay, so we're going to use the Sow Easy seeds first. And I'll show you how you can do that. Now this the package will tell you directions, and it says that you should sow a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch deep. And it will tell you like for row spacing and stuff like that. We don't need to worry about row spacing because we're planting in a container. Now I'm going to plant mine pretty dense because I'm going to be, like I said, using these onions not for the bulb part, but for the green part, at least for most of the season. And then whenever it's time to pull them out of the ground, then we can harvest them for the bulb. But so yeah, this is, let me get my scissors here so I can cut this package top open. So this will give you more of a view of how big those seeds are. And like I said, those are what they call pelleted seeds. So that way you can easily pick them up, one seed between 2 fingers, and put it in your pot where you'd like it. So I'm just going to pick, and like I said, I'm going to plant mine pretty condensed and pretty packed in there because I want as many onions, as many greens as I can get in my space. So I'm going to kind of overcrowd them a little bit. But that's okay. You can do that in container planting. And if I have to thin them later on, I can thin them. That's not a big deal. But the bulbs on these onions only grow to be about a 1/2 inch thick anyway. So I can plant my seeds about every 1 inch apart. And even fairly close to the edge of the pot here, because they're not going to really outgrow that space. So one more there, and we'll find a good little spot for it. Okay, so that's planted, and as soon as we get the chives planted, then I will water. So we're going to put that aside. Now it looks like we haven't done anything to it. It looks, because I've buried those seeds about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch deep. Now you'll see when I get the chive seeds out, because these aren't the Sow Easy seeds, these are going to be small. I'm just going to sprinkle them on the soil. Now this says the planting depth is about a 1/4 of an inch, and it says that you need to thin them when you grow them. So basically it's telling you these are small seeds, and you're going to have to probably thin them because you're not going to be able to just pick up one little seed at a time and plant it. So yeah, if you can see those seeds, they're small. So I'm going to sprinkle them across my soil, just like I did with the basil earlier this year and a couple of those other herbs, the smaller herbs. And I'm going to go ahead and do quite a few in here, because I feel like this is a fairly decent sized pot. And then, like I said, I can thin them and they'll do just fine. So I'm just going to pack my soil down, pack that soil kind of over the top of them. Maybe go ahead and put just a couple more. So you do that almost like a lettuce. So I'm going to be careful when I water these. So that's another tip for you, because if you buy the chive seeds in the Sow Easy thing, then you can evenly space them just like I did with the onion. So if you're new to gardening, that might be a good idea for you so you can get used to the things. But you also will need to get used to what the regular seed size is too, so you don't have to spend up or pay up for the pelleted seeds. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my watering can. Now this one is real generous, but I'm just going to lightly saturate and soak that soil hard. Now that's going to displace some of my seeds that I just planted as far as these chives go, but I'm trying to do it delicately so maybe they don't get displaced. So there we go. Now let's go ahead and water the onion in. Okay, and like with the onion now, if I get you real close here, you might be able to see the pelleted seed right there, and there's one here, and there's one here that has kind of been uncovered a little bit. So I'm just going to poke my finger and get those buried again so they're underneath the soil as deep as they need to be. Okay? All right. Okay, so there we go. Now it is still cold out here, and onion and chives both are cooler weather crops. You can grow them, plant them, and grow them, and even, I won't say they'll tolerate a frost, but they will tolerate some colder temperatures. However, these I'm going to go ahead and take inside and put them with some of my other herbs until they germinate and sprout. And then when we begin to bring our herbs and some other things out, I'll go ahead and bring these out, and these can live on the patio. And what's great about these is planting them in pots is later on in the summer when we're doing our barbecuing and things like that, later on they can sit right out here on the patio table underneath the umbrella, and whenever we're barbecuing or whatever, we can snip off a few chives to go on our potato salad, or snip off a few green onions to go on our potato salad, and they're good to go. They'll grow in these containers. Like I said, the chives are perennial, so they will grow until I decide I don't want them anymore. Or what's nice about chives is they can be divided. So when they grow in this pot, if I decide that, well, okay, I would like to have a second pot of them, or I'd like to grow them someplace out in the yard, I can pull them, some of these out, and divide the root wad and plant them in different areas or in different pots, and then I have more than one chive plant. Now the bunching onions, the green onions, those are seasonal, they're an annual. Most people will grow them for the season and just pull them out of the ground at the end of the season, and then, you know, you've seen a scallion or a green onion, and they'll use the whole onion, and that's fine. But once you pull one out, you've pulled the whole root out, and you're not going to get any more in there. So for the main part of the season this year, up until it's harvesting time, like in the fall, to pull the onion bulb itself out, or the white part, I'm just going to use this as, like I said, a cut and come again type, because these greens, once they start growing, after they're a couple of inches tall, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches tall, you can start snipping the green parts off of them and using those, like I said, in your meals. So either way, there we go, that's those. And now today, since I'm outside here, and even though it's cooler, I'm going to go ahead and take you around, and we're going to start getting the chocolate mint bed ready to start growing in the spring. There might already be some green in there, but I've got it mulched heavily with leaves and stuff, and we're just going to pull some of that off of there, and so that can get the sunlight that it needs, and we'll start getting our chocolate mint. I'm out of my chocolate mint right now that I've dehydrated and that I love for tea. And so I've got to get that growing again so we can use that and harvest that throughout the season as well. So let's go do that. Okay, so we are out here in the front yard where the chocolate mint is planted. And actually I can see it down here. Yes, we are getting a lot of spring growth already, so I will show you that here in just a minute. I brought out my scissors and snippers just in case I need to snip some of the old stalks off, or trim them down. Got my little, now I will tell you, this little rake is a great tool for if you're working in smaller spaces, or and you don't want those big tines. Now this wouldn't be great for raking leaves. You would spend all the rest of your life raking your front yard. But this is a great tool for small spaces like this mint bed here. And so we're going to get busy on that so we can get a good mint harvest. Okay, so I'm just going to put the snips and the scissors in my pocket real quick. And like I said, I've had some leaves and things like that in here. And now one tip when you grow mint, mint is an invasive species. And so that's why I've got it growing in this, I've got this outlined with these like landscaping, they're not bricks really, but they're landscaping edgers, like these edging bricks. And I just made a circle out here. Now this mint was from one little teeny tiny plant that I bought a couple years ago at the farmer's market. There was a little girl, she was trying to make a little bit of extra spending money, and I can't pass up chocolate mint, so I bought one little bitty plant from her. And this little plant has been growing in here for a couple of years now. And like I said, it's an invasive species and it has taken over the whole area. And it's a perennial in our area at least, probably for most. It's cold hardy. And it has taken over this whole area, and it will grow for many, many years for me. And it's very profuse grower. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I'll pop up on the screen here at the end of this video the video of my mint harvest, and possibly the mint tea that I make out of it, which is delicious. So you can check those out at the end of this video. But yeah, we're just cleaning this out, and as you can see, all of this green here, it's not even fully spring yet. It's still winter time, but this has all started growing back after the winter season. Trying to get as many of those acorns out of there as I can. But yeah, so you can see all that mint growing up there, and I'm just going to go ahead and put back a few of these little woody stems and stalks and just get rid of those. Get them out of here and clean up the bed so it looks nice. Oh, and I see a little ladybug. We got a ladybug in here. That's an awesome thing. And one good tip for you when you're gardening in a space like this, even though this is a perennial plant, you might want to go ahead and mulch it back in the wintertime. This one, like I said, it had leaves on top of it. I didn't actually put the leaves on there. Those are what came off of our trees. So a nice natural mulch. And yeah, so I'm going to show you something down here. That's the reason I want to rake most of these acorns that I've got out of here, is because, see this one? It's starting to root. And I just pulled out another one that's starting to root. And look at that long root of those. And so if I don't get those out of here, then it's going to start producing there's another one that's rooted. We'll start having little saplings grow up in here that we don't want. So that's a good reason to make sure you get acorns out of your flower beds and things like that, because they will start rooting. And there's another one by my hand. I gotta pull the root out if I can get it here. Oh, that one was a stubborn one that wouldn't let me get it. So, but yeah, there you go. So we're gonna have some mint later this year, and I'm real excited about that. Okay, so there we are, guys. A nice little day out. It's chilly, but it's a good day. The sun is shining. It's a good day to do some work out in the yard, do a little bit of gardening, and I'm glad and I'm happy to have our mint bed cleaned out here, and to get it where it's going to start taking off now that I've uncovered it. It's going to start taking off, and I'm going to get lots of harvest of that chocolate mint off of this, and so I'm real excited about that. And we're going to start doing some more gardening in the back here soon. We're going to have some dirt brought in and finish setting up a few beds back there. I was so happy I could talk my husband into doing that this year. In the past, we've had a little bit of troubles getting dirt and just a few things, and like I've mentioned before, hurting my back real bad when we were building the garden back there. So I am going to do a lot of container gardening again this year, and I'm going to hopefully get some things started in the backyard garden and in the raised bed garden. And but thank you for joining me today here at Life on Turkey Lane. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of just a variety of things, and that you'll try planting some little green onion. If you can only do container planting, that's fine. Plant a little bit of green onions, plant some lettuces, plant some chives and some other herbs, and just enjoy those things. And so I hope you'll come back and see me for future episodes. We're going to be doing a lot of not only gardening, but some more cooking videos. I've got a crafting video coming up real soon, just a real easy little craft. And so thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.